On this episode of From 100 to 26, our 38XO shows up, we hand over a check, and we take delivery of our boat. Is it really that simple? Absolutely not. Stay with us while we walk you through the process of taking delivery of our brand new boat. Big day, really big day. What are we doing today? We're buying the boat. Well, this is buying the boat. Yes, it's an actual check. Believe it or not, you can do a check to buy a boat. But that's what we're doing today. Okay, long story short, the reality is when you build a boat, it's not something that you just come in and pick up and go. It is a long process. I think there's a misnomer out there that when you buy a boat, all of a sudden the boat shows up and it's absolutely perfect and you're ready to go. There's our 38XO. Can't wait. We're going to take you through the boat here in just a second, but first we're going to talk to one of the owners, Lisa, from AMPM Marine, and talk about what has taken place so far in order to get the boat to this condition, keeping in mind there's more work to be done. So behind us is our boat here, which we're going to go through in a few minutes. We got Lisa, one of the owners of AMPM Marine, which is our dealership, which is one of the reasons why we bought this boat is really because of her and Tom, their husband and wife team that actually own AMPM Marine. Probably the single best dealership experience we've ever had with any of the boats that we've ever purchased. So anyhow, Lisa, welcome to the channel.
Hello.
So, question for you.
Yes.
So this boat showed up, what, a couple of weeks ago?
A few weeks ago, right before Thanksgiving.
Okay, and so right before Thanksgiving, so we're middle of December in our time. When you guys are watching this, it's gonna be a little bit later. So from the time that it showed up to today, so you're talking about 3 to 4 weeks, the boat's sitting here obviously behind us. How much work have you put into this boat already?
We've had a crew of 4 continuously working on the boat since it arrived from the truck from Regal. It first started out at the marina where we unload the boats. We unload the boat, we block the boat, we inspect the trans shield from the travel time to make sure everything's intact. Once the trans shield is inspected, we remove the trans shield, and then our crew...
And the trans shield is the
trans
covering.
shield is the shrink wrap cover from Regal to protect the boat through the transport process.
Okay.
And then once the trans shield's removed, our crew of 4 will go through the entire boat, inspect the boat for any transport damage that may have occurred. That's just regular road wear and tear coming from Florida. Once they're complete with that, then they continue on to look for any unfinished blemishes from the factory, any cuts on cushions, cuts on canvas. They just pretty much go through the whole entire boat from bow to stern. They report as they go on to our warranty manager of things that they find, so warranty claims can be processed. And then they just continue on until the boat's ready for delivery.
Okay, so is the boat ready for delivery at this point?
No, the boat is not ready for delivery at this point. The boat has been brought here. All systems are still winterized. All systems have not been PDI checked.
So right now, as far as the boat is concerned, since we're closing on the boat today, we're only looking at really cosmetics.
We're looking at cosmetics now.
And then the sea trials and that sort of thing will occur in March and April when we drop in the boat.
As soon as the weather allows.
As soon as the weather allows. Yeah, okay.
The reason we look for cosmetics now is the weather in the Northeast is cold outside, so there's things that can't be done, such as gel coat. We can search for those items if there's blemishes or things that need to be taken care of over the course of the winter, and then once it warms up, we can rectify those items as needed.
Because some of this stuff has to come in for Regal. So what you do is when you see a cushion that needs to be replaced, you report that down to Regal, and then they actually end up having to build it, which we've seen in previous videos, that how the cushions and everything are created down there, cabinetry work. So that's giving us an opportunity to close on the boat now and rectify those situations now.
Yes.
Where mechanicals would you say that mechanicals tend to be a little quicker to resolve than the cosmetic?
Mechanicals tend to be a little bit quicker. The cosmetic, the boat is pretty much a custom-made boat. It's still a line factory boat, but it's custom-made, do it ahead of time.
So it's giving us, for us, the reason why we did it this way is because the winter's out there right now. It's giving us the opportunity to get some of these items on the discrepancy list, get these items coming in so that when we're ready to hit the water in March and April, that all we're dealing with is mechanical issues at that point. We've resolved a lot of the cosmetic issues and we're ready to hit the water to bring good content to you guys.
Correct.
So quick question for Lisa, would you say that the majority of the issues that you see from a cosmetic standpoint in terms of exterior is associated with transport, or is it associated with manufacturing?
I would say it's probably 50-50.
50-50?
50-50.
Okay. Disclaimer here, I would normally not recommend closing on a boat without a full sea trial and systems check. However, we have full confidence in AMPM Marine, our dealership, to fix everything that is found. Something I cannot say for all dealerships we have dealt with in the past. Evaluate your dealership and come to your own conclusion. Okay, so what we're starting now is the process of walking the boat. You typically work outside, inside. Okay, so we're gonna walk the hull, and as we do this, you'll be taking notes as to things that you see and things that I see.
Well, I don't know if he has his name.
Yeah, Roger's fine.
Okay. All right, I guess we gotta start over.
You don't have to throw out my social security number.
Credit card information.
Credit card information for everybody, it's totally fine. So we've got our gray and steel gray and white, and this is how we ordered it. Now I was seeing, like I said, a little bit up in here, Lisa.
So the boat, when the boat was inspected and unwrapped, the crew has been working on the boat. So there may be areas where they may have found discoloration or a nick or an air void or whatever the case is, and they may have already fixed it. The boat may just need to be waxed and buffed out, and then the imperfection's gone.
And that's one of the amazing things about the Regal process that we're showing in that we've shown in the factory tours is, unlike a lot of manufacturers, they don't paint this. This is actually put into this is actual gel.
Yes.
So the color's put into the actual structure of the boat. So it allows you to do some corrections to the gel without actually being in a situation where you're gonna start seeing white underneath it. Lacey, you guys have done an amazing job. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at, the fact that on a 40-foot boat on one side, I found 3 small blemishes, which at the end of the day are very, very minor. And the only way I was able to pick them up is because I was looking at them from a side angle.
Anchor and different
So
components
the bow
of the boat.
thruster's hitting the hole. So you can see the fins here, Lisa, where the bow thruster's actually hitting the hole.
Okay.
So we probably need to just sand that back a bit. You see how
Yes.
it's sitting?
So most likely, our technicians will take some sandpaper and just
grind a
little bit so it doesn't hit. But we've seen that before.
Yeah, and that's you know, but yeah, because I don't want to burn out the bow thruster key, because you can see it's putting a lot of pressure on it right as it hits there. I just want to put that on the list so that way we can address. God, these engines are huge. You don't realize, you know, I haven't had a lot of outboard experience of engines this size, but geez, these things are quite amazing. Now, I alluded to this in a previous video. Yamaha has done now is they've integrated all of the steering into each one of the engines. So this cylinder area here, okay, is the steering system. So if you notice, you no longer have hydraulics or anything back here with any of the engines. And Yamaha is one of the first to do this. So everything is integrated now with Yamahas. So all you have here is electrical and fuel.
Correct.
So it's a really neat idea is what Regal did, is to get that out of the way. I'm gonna leave this open just so it dries out. That's okay. And then you've got garbage.
Now we have 2 cushions that are being reported with damage that have already been submitted to have new cushions made and sent, or skins. So it really depends on which cushion has a defect. Sometimes Regal will send the full cushion, or they will just send the skin to recover the cushion.
I just love these little touches, like what they did with the grates. It's substantial. You know, this is not a...
Just hold it down.
Oh, so you have to hold it down so
Yes.
it locks in
Yes.
position. Ah.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's the new redesigned door from TaylorMade that
Really?
they came out with a year or so ago.
Gotcha.
So it's a little bit heavier duty.
I mean, it's substantial. I mean, I wow. I mean, this door's got to weigh, I mean, even though it's made of aluminum, it's got to weigh a couple hundred pounds. I mean, it's a substantial door.
And the doors need to be adjusted because right now the boat's on stands and blocks. So once the boat gets into the water, our technician Shorty may have to go down to the boat and adjust the doors for the forgiveness.
Oh, it's soaked in there.
That may have been from when they washed it 2 days ago and hadn't cleaned it, so it's still wet in there.
Yeah, it's pretty wet.
So throughout the hard top and the top railing, there's little tiny holes that are drains. So sometimes those holes could be full of fiberglass dust, resin, and that will cause a leak.
So it causes the water to back up and
Yes.
then go into an area where it's
Yes.
not supposed to. This is why you do this, is it's, you know, trying to figure out what, you know, where the issues are coming from. And again, this is why you do this. This is why you start these processes early, is to go through this, because it's a handmade thing. Things can happen in transportation, things can happen in production. So.
Six hours later.
completed our walkthrough of the boat, the initial one. I guess this is the second one, really. So we finished that. We met with BOE, and now we're coming to do the final paperwork on the boat. Obviously, the money is important. So, and then I'm going to do the final signing. Amanda will as well, and then the boat is officially ours. Now the boat's going to sit here in the showroom until at least March. Some of the work's going to get done. We're going to capture that for everybody. But first we have to own it, so
Yes.
we'll get through that.
On our next episode, why did we pick the Regal 38XO as our next boat? This will be a two-part series. Next week will be the features walkthrough, where we take you on a tour of our new boat, what we like about it, and some of the areas that need improving. The episode after that will focus on the technical walkthrough, where we focus on the systems and the improvements we have incorporated into the vessel. As always, thank you for watching. Please click, like, and especially subscribe. It means the world to us. If you missed the last episode, the Regal factory tour, please click on the link above.